Before we get into today's video, if you feel like this team is a real playoff contender, a team that can make some noise in January and maybe even into February, hit that thumbs up button down below. Yesterday was exactly what the doctor ordered for Denver. After a crushing Week 10 loss, this locker room showed their resiliency and their ability to bounce back, and they squashed a good team. The Falcons, coming in at 6-4, were a well-coached team, it looked like, and the Broncos absolutely pantsed them. So I've got three pieces of great news to get to on today's episode. Really quickly, I just want to peek at the playoff picture. I know I'm a little bit of a playoff picture addict, but right now Denver is sitting at 6-5, has the 7 seed. Unfortunately, they do not have the tiebreaker over the Ravens, so they'd have to make up some extra ground to move up. They are also down one game against the Chargers, but they are definitely in a comfortable position to be in the mix to make a good wild card push. But the first piece of good news I really want to look at is Bo Nix and what he has been able to do over the last 4 games and really the second half of the first half of the season, if that makes sense. I mean, 9 touchdowns to 1 interception, but let's look beyond just the numbers. I was rewatching the game today, and I noticed a part of the game that was new from Bo Nix. This is a big play to Devon Vele in what's already in the midst of a blowout. But this play right here showed us something we had not seen from Nix, really, or at least that much of in the first 10 weeks of the year. Devon Vele is about to run into a Bermuda Triangle of defenders. 2 high safeties, and you got a linebacker backpedaling, trying to close the gap between himself and Vele. And Bo Nix right now is just about to release this football on the money. I mean, look at the next shot here. It's going to go just above the linebacker's hands, but not too far above where the safety, Justin Simmons in this case, who we all know is a great ball hawk safety, can come in and intercept it, but also not too far off target where another safety, Jesse Bates, can absolutely lay the wood down and knock the ball out of Devon Vele. Nope, this ball is thrown perfectly on the money between all 3 defenders. And what's even more perfect about this pass is he puts it so on the money that it allows Vele to get yards after the catch. That was something that we missed from Nix early in the season. He was completing passes, but he wasn't putting it in an optimal spot for the receiver to turn upfield and get extra yards. This is a new improvement, and every single week we see a new improvement from Bo Nix. And right now what we're really seeing is the downfield passing that allows the receiver to run after the catch is made. Early in the year, the Broncos had one of the fewest yards after the catch. As of late, look at what Vele's doing. Look what Courtland Sutton is doing. These guys are catching the ball in stride, and they're turning upfield. That last pass had the opportunity to be an ambulance pass, right? If Bo Nix doesn't put it on target, you've got Vele stretching out, and the moment he catches it, boom, car accident just like that. A safety comes in and levels him. But Vele is able to catch it, turn upfield, and there is plenty of green grass in front of him. Like I said, every single week we see something new in terms of an improvement from number 10. Right now, this improvement is maybe one of the most exciting ones. He is maximizing his players' yards after the catch ability. So with that being said, Bo Nix really needs to start getting some more national attention as a legitimate contender for NFL Rookie of the Year. I mean, here we are past the halfway mark of the season, 11 out of 17 games in the books. Bo Nix leads all rookies in touchdown passes. Bo Nix leads all rookies except for Jayden Daniels in total yards. Bo Nix is creeping up on Jayden Daniels in completion percentage. Bo Nix has the same amount of rushing touchdowns as Jayden Daniels. So someone explain to me why Bo Nix is so drastically far off from Jayden Daniels. I know that Daniels had an incredible start to the year, but he has cooled off lately. Meanwhile, Bo Nix is heating up, and we all know that every award in the history of sports has some major recency bias to it. If a guy throws 4 touchdowns in week 1 but throws 4 interceptions in week 18, people are going to remember the 8 interceptions more than the 4 touchdowns. So keep an eye on Bo Nix. He is very, very quickly climbing up the NFL Rookie of the Year odds leaderboard. So I'll turn it over to you guys here for a quick moment. Do you believe Bo Nix is the best rookie quarterback right now? Before I give you the next two pieces of great news Denver got out of this game, I do want to hear from everyone watching down below in the comment section. So up next on the show, I want to talk about Nik Bonitto, who is really coming into form as one of the best pass rushers in the National Football League. But first, a quick shout out to our friends over at Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least two players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. One of my favorite features about Prize Picks is that they offer Venmo for quick and easy withdrawals and deposits. So download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. All of that information is in the comments and description of today's video. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Nik Bonitto is having an awesome season. I mean, that's the short way to put it. 9 sacks this year. That surpasses his season high of last year with 8. 24 pressures, and by week 11, he has already matched all the pressures he had in 2023. The former second-round pick out of Oklahoma is tied for second in the NFL in sacks with Dexter Lawrence from the New York Giants with 9, only trailing Trey Hendrickson from the Bengals. He's the first Broncos player, by the way, to reach 9 sacks since Von Miller back in 2019. I mean, think about that 5-year stretch of just wasteland when it comes to Broncos pass rushers. 2021, Von Miller had a good start to the year, but he was ultimately traded by the deadline to the Rams. And then since then, it's been a weird rotation of like new leading sack getters of Shelby Harris, Draymond Jones, and Jonathan Cooper last year, right? Malik Reed at one point led the Broncos in sacks. Like, there's never been any consistency since 2019-2020 when it comes to Broncos' number 1 pass rusher. So, with that, you've got your second-round pick at a cornerstone position secured and locked in. This is a big sigh of relief for Denver. The most important position in sports is quarterback. The second most position in the NFL is pass rusher. Whatever you can do to stop the most important position. And right now, Denver's second-round pick, which is a good use of an asset, is looking like he is the real deal when it comes to hunting down and sacking the quarterback. Look at the last couple of years of day 2 draft picks for the Denver Broncos. It's too early to judge the 2024 draft class and probably the 2023, but Riley Moss, I'll just lump him in with the rest of them behind him, though. He's played lights-out football this year. We see what Nik Bonitto's up to right now. Greg Dulcich, unfortunately, a miss. Javonte Williams, I just want to chalk it up to the injury because I was a big fan of him coming out, but Quinn Miners has been awesome. The crazy thing about this is you would look at it as not a incredibly successful lot of draft picks, but that just goes to show how much of a crapshoot the NFL draft is. I mean, the Broncos got one of the best guards in football in that mix right there. They've got an awesome starting corner in Riley Moss. They've got a rising star in Nik Bonitto. And even then, the percentage hit isn't crazy high, and we wouldn't look at that as a great thing, but that just goes to show how hard it is to find good players in the draft. So that's my second piece of great news. Nik Bonitto is locked in as one of the best in the biz at a very important position for Denver. After being a second-round pick in a very quiet rookie season, he has really blossomed in years 2 and 3. Third piece of good news I want to share with you guys is they're in a good spot for the playoffs right now. I mean, look what they got coming up here. Just take the next 2 games going into their bye week. The Raiders stink. The Browns might stink more, actually. I mean, they lost to the Raiders. So you got 2 very, very winnable games over the next 2 weeks. Could jump up to 8 and 5. Then a very late bye, but at this point, that's not the worst thing in the world. Get a last-second breather before a 4-game stretch against a very good Colts team. A very good little stretch. A good Colts team. A very good Chargers team. I want to say a good Bengals team, and then there's the Chiefs. So if you can improve to 8-5, and then you got those last 4 weeks, look where the Colts are right now on the heels of Denver. That's an opportunity to just control your own destiny, beat Indianapolis, have the tiebreaker. Then you're 9-5, and in the last 3 weeks, you are 1 win away from essentially locking up a playoff spot. So it is there for the taking over the next 2 weeks against far below 500 teams, a bye, and then control your own destiny against Indianapolis, and don't make very tough games against the Chargers, the Bengals, and the Chiefs be do-or-die situations for you. So if you want to keep the dubs rolling, hit that sub button down below, and I appreciate all 27,730 of you that are already subscribed to the channel. Before we sign off, I just want to show some love to those of you that sent in some super thanks on the channel recently. We got one from Young Quan. Appreciate you so much. Always appreciate and look forward to your commentary. Thank you so much for your support of the channel and for tuning in. Shout out to you, Mr. Quan. And then we got a super thanks as well from Mr. Emrod. Thank you for supporting the channel as well. Go Broncos to both of you. If you have not subscribed, make sure you do so. Lock yourself in for the best free Broncos news and rumors coverage.